Oh,
Okay.
All right, everybody, shut up. Welcome to the college complexes. We are now in order, in session. Uh, the rules are as follows. Number one, one pull at a time, and two, no personal attacks. The college consists of the following format. We'll have a brief, and I mean brief, announcements period where you come up here and you make announcements only, followed by our presentation time, where our speaker will have up to an hour to discuss the topic, followed by Q&A, and then followed by our rebuttals, where you'll have up to a few minutes to speak your mind, and then we'll give the speaker the final rebuttal. And we'll now begin with announcements. Charlie, do you have announcements?
yeah, call up the screen,
Okay,
please.
give me the mic. Okay, hang on, Charlie. Okay, go ahead, Charlie. Start your announcements. I'll
Where's
get you
the
the
screen? Where's the screen?
getting it now. Getting it now. Hang on. Damn it. Hang on.
Okay, we're getting there. One more.
I know. Okay.
Okay, a little bit more. All right, welcome everyone to meeting number 3,827 of the College of Complexes, the playground for people who think. We maintain several email lists. If you're not presently on one, please contact me and I'll direct you. I'll add your name. Now, although I'm not a capitalist, I will give an advertisement for our upcoming programs. On July the 26th, this gentleman comes from our satellite campus, Dr. John Ely. He's going to be talking about ESA, emotional service animals, the current laws and stipulations about where you can go with an ESA, an emotional service animal. Transitioning into August. On August the 2nd, we're going to be discussing if we are in the last days of the American Republic. Do we have a republic and are we going to keep it? Good political analysis there on by John Eagle. On October the 9th, Jonathan Barton returns. Also, he took a recent trip on a lobbying effort to Washington, D.C., which he calls Babylon, D.C. So Jonathan Barton, he's going to have illustration and photographs of his lobbying effort, lobbying trip to Washington, D.C. On August the 16th, longtime college regular from the past, Doc Whitworth, will be returning to talk about various alternative remedies and with the program entitled How to Get Rid of Your Doctor Before He Gets Rid of You. That's October the 16th. That leaves open August the 23rd. If you'd like to speak, I'm looking for speakers. Please let me know and will give me a title and a written description. Transitioning to August 30th, we will have our special Labor Day speaker. We're having one on public sector unions. A business agent from the National Federation of Federal Employees, of which I am affiliated. So we're going to find out what the Trump administration is doing with regards to organized labor. That leaves 4 dates open in September. The 6th, 13, 20, and 27. Again, if you'd like to speak, give me a title and a written description of your presentation. Okay, thank you away. Take it away.
All right.
Justin.
Any more announcements real quick? Okay, seeing none, Justin, you want to introduce our speaker? We don't have one.
Can you pull it up or something?
I'll tell you what, just go ahead and introduce the speaker. He'll have him introduce. Want to grab a mic here? And hand it back to me when you're done.
Well, here, I'll just stand here. All right. Our speaker this evening is Derrick Michael Reed. Derrick is from California. He's running for the Libertarian Party nomination. He's here to talk about his American agenda. Let's welcome Derrick Michael Reed.
Okay, Derrick. Go ahead, Derrick. You're on. Derrick, you're muted. Unmute. You got to unmute your microphone. You're still muted.
See if the microphone's plugged in.
He's muted. It's our speaker up here. He's still muted. Yeah, I know. I'm not sure where he went. He's got to.
Get out, come back in.
No, he can unmute himself if he just finds out he's in an iPhone. We can wait for you while you're on the Zoom. I know you're having a little trouble, but we'll wait for you. Don't worry. Yeah, well. Okay, we still can't hear you. Shit.
Settings, video.
There. He had it.
No, I got it. No, he's now muted himself again. Try again, okay. Try talking again. We're lost the signal. We lost your signal. Okay, try again. Speak. We can't hear you. Try turning your volume up on the phone.
You ready, sir? That's not what you.
Yeah, I know. It's always
Isn't it star 8 or star 9 to unmute?
no. He's on an iPhone. I'm trying to find out what to do.
He's got a Bluetooth earphone microphone. Tell him to plug it in.
If you have a Bluetooth, okay, he's getting there.
You don't think China's too great to work? No, sure.
Like-
There's a whole. I at the time that the meeting was there, I looked at the winds. There's but 3 gallon one. And the west to the east, but there was a very towards the west, east to west. And you look at it, it goes like this. And it's not how it gets, it's a total.
You know, the Chinese are buying.
Sure, I know. I mean, it's, yeah. It's
Ah,
out of the boots and what too. That's the earlier. Not this great. This is the balloon is was that was very worried about it.
That was the big story long.
He's having some trouble with his settings on his iPhone.
Guess who he has a computer to go and walk in.
Do you have a computer you could use or just the iPhone?
Oh, yeah, that's.
We got you on picture with no trouble, but we're trying to get you on audio. Your connection's clear with me, but we can't get you on. It seems to be it's your internal mic on Zoom. That's the problem.
It's, but you know, China, Russia, North Korea, and Iran, they're the new guys. They're together. But even when we are, you know, they are impossible.
He's having some technical troubles.
So I get it, you say, when you read the people in the room, that one is attacked, the other was attacked, consider this. They didn't say a word.
When you got firepower, the United States, you don't want to challenge it.
Have you tried getting your meeting controls in there on the iPhone? You're probably
Yeah, you haven't tried connecting in your Bluetooth to.
I don't think he has one. He's got his iPhone and he's used it before, obviously. Okay. All right. Justin, you want to get up there and maybe brief us a little bit, please?
Review.
Okay, I don't know. He's okay. You're muted again on the iPhone from here. Just open up your mic, unmute on your Zoom controls, and you should be all set. I can't hear you still. You got to unmute on Zoom now. Go to your meeting controls, go to your audio, and then try unmuting.
Where are your media controls?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, but he's on his iPhone and he's
Where
trying
are
to get
they?
his. They're in his screen somewhere. He's obviously having some trouble with it. And I know he's got a good message for us tonight. Okay.
Might be able to do a FaceTime with him.
Well, no, and we can't get FaceTime on this thing. I got Zoom and we're all set.
On your iPhone, this has changed your signals with things with those version on your usually happens. Take you to your main screen. Then go on your
Not here, right? I don't see Jason here.
Settings. There you're gonna see general.
Okay, when you open up your iPhone, go to your settings icon. What you want to do is you want to go into your original settings on Zoom. When you log in, go to your settings tab. And you'll see a thing that says settings on there. I'm not sure how you get in there with it, but there'll be an option that says use original microphone.
Well, my website is science.
You should be okay.
Yep, give it. So, exactly what's going on.
On your item, this has changed over years. Something on your usually on your
Okay, go to Zoom. Click on your icon in your Zoom
He
app.
hasn't said any. He hasn't said anything.
I know he hasn't said anything. We can't hear him. I know we can't hear anything, but I think he can hear us. Can you blink your eyes if you can hear us, sir?
Did we get him to type what his problems are so we can troubleshoot with him?
Okay, now there should be a microphone setting. You just go to original settings on it. And you should be able to unmute your mic because we got a connection to you.
Hard is hard.
You may have to rejoin us on. I know. Oh, okay, okay. Let me see if I can. All right. Well, okay. Go into your microphone's built in on your Zoom on your iPhone. God damn it. Okay, I can see it.
On your iPhone.
Okay. What you can do is open your Zoom app again. Click on your icon at the top left-hand corner on the Zoom app, and you should see settings, upper left-hand corner. It's a picture of you in there. That's the one you want to click. Then you should go to settings, and then you should see something on the microphone.
Settings, click on settings. There you can see channel notification.
Okay. All right, I got it. I got it. Okay, why don't you log out and log in again? That might solve the problem, and make sure your volume on your iPhone's turned up. What we can do is just log out of Zoom and reconnect. I'll let you back in. Okay. Do you see that picture? When you're in your Zoom icon, can you see your picture up there? Okay, hang on. I'm going to send over a YouTube link here and we'll get you try to. This might help you. See if I can find it real quick.
Yeah, it's sort of interesting.
Okay, now.
Cool.
Damn it. Okay. Okay, I know you're still here. He's logging back in. I think he's going to try to log back in with his sound. I've got a video up that might be able to diagnose the problem. Okay, try it again. Okay, try talking again. You just muted yourself. Okay, now you're unmuted. Do you have the volume on your iPhone turned on? I still can't hear you. All right, I'm gonna hook. Just stay pointed. I'm gonna put on a quick diagnostic video that might help you a little bit. You just hang on a second while I pull it up on screen here. It might help a little bit. I'm not sure. I'm going to share screen real quick. And we'll see if we can get you online this way. Okay, let me know when you're ready. damn it. Shit. Hang on, god damn it.
Shouldn't
Give me
he
a minute.
just, shouldn't he just call up his keypad and hit *8 or *9?
It's an iPhone, Charlie, he's on, and I'm trying to help him out.
And you call hit the keypad.
Yeah, hit the keypad and see what happens.
We haven't got time to watch the video. Come on.
No, I know that, but I'm trying to see what we can do to help him out here. It's got some, god damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it.
Right there.
Give me a minute, god damn it. Fuck. I didn't need
Well,
this.
don't you control your settings on iPhone using your keypad?
Something like that, Charlie, but he's trying his best.
Years ago.
This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. He's trying. No, he's trying. I'm going to see if I can. God damn it.
Did you hear him when he logged in?
No, I didn't. I wasn't able to hear when he logged in. Okay, give me a minute. God damn it.
Trouble with
He
that
had
technical-
on the order.
Ready?
Okay, we're going to try.
What are we watching?
Turn-
YouTube?
Give me a minute, Charlie. I'm going to try to give him some help with his problem here.
Chicken for me for all.
God damn it.
How's the shoulder work?
Shit.
You almost.
Here and Aaron is saying.
Okay, here we go.
Good. Maybe, maybe, also might be local to it. It's very simple.
Okay, just give me a thumbs up or thumbs down if that helped a little bit, or you need me to replay it. Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. I don't know what's going on, but we're having a lot of trouble.
Okay, go.
Just give me a thumbs up if you, okay. No clue. Okay, all right. I'm not sure what to tell you, except maybe turn up the volume on your iPhone real quick. Go to your original settings and just check and see that your microphone's on in the iPhone itself. We'll work with you, don't worry.
Two or more groups that are gonna definitely fight each other. And start lie to them.
We can see you fine. And I know you're trying to log in.
They follow the Hindus and the Muslims and lie to each side and start fighting each other. Genetically and other ones. And finally, at a certain point, in 40% like that, it moved in empowerment. How do we go?
Okay, if you're in your Zoom app, let me see if I can do this. We're coming, Charlie. I'm trying to get logging in with my iPhone to see if I can give him a hand here. He's coming.
More prejudice is it is.
Did you hear the raise the raise the water? It's the whole trip. Because he's the one who.
Yeah, I think I heard that.
I know it's an Apple iPhone. It's okay. Are you using an external camera on there? Yeah. Okay.
Right. Before the
Just join with your Zoom app and try again with your microphone.
what's
I'm trying to figure that out for you now.
Yeah, it took a long.
in cabinet, are they gonna machine those down?
I worked at Sears.
If
I
not,
worked at Blockbuster.
God damn it.
What did that?
I shouldn't work in any place because it'll just end up.
Oh, he's up.
They want to give. Serious stuff. Bushels, you know, bushels.
Dershowitz was not being in this man.
Did you think they would support the catalog?
You know, they introduced, Dale, this, and they're the ones.
Okay. We're still, okay, there's me. Oh, I just logged in, but I'm not gonna.
Yeah, you got the cracks.
Okay, there. I'm gonna shut.
We have to be like, sorry, sir. For those anymore.
Get mine in here and I'm gonna drop me out. Okay, I got my. I'm gonna bump me out. Okay. Just join us by phone if you have to. Okay, hang on.
Yeah, which one?
God damn it, hang on. All right, hang on, I'm doing it.
I have the number. I have his number.
I know, I'm gonna call him. Okay. Give me your number. Put it up one more time.
Here, I'll
Put your
give it.
number up.
It's 949.
Hang on. Hang on, let me get to the app. Okay, 1-949
736
736
0382.
0382. Okay, hang on.
But anyway, talking about British.
Okay, we're getting, I'm calling him now. Okay.
In the 1800s, 1700s, 1600s, 1900s.
Hello?
1900s.
Can you hear me?
The control of the
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You can hear me. I can't hear you still. Okay, try one more time with your number on the screen. I'll call you again.
I'll give you the number.
No, he's doing it. 1-949 736
Alexander
0382.
Okay.
I'm calling you now. Okay, can you hear any ringtone?
That's where he got his money. Finance.
The microphone may be turned off on your phone.
It's the, you mean in October 7th? Yeah, October 7th. You know what it was?
Your phone's not working on the other end. I just tried to call your number and it's not working. You may want to log out and then I can try. I know it's a little bit crazy with technology. I'm sorry about all the trouble, but we'll try again. I think you're
Or seven,
my phone. Okay.
yeah, something like that.
It's 847
Babies out of,
648
stomach.
1054.
Actually, the amount. But, ripping out the babies out of the stomach, it's beheading it.
That's what we're trying to do now. Again, that number is 847 648 1054. Okay. Again, it's 847 648 1054.
Okay, I don't understand what it is.
Okay, so.
Okay, hello, can you hear me?
1917.
Good, we can hear you now. Let me get you on speaker. Put your iPhone down, put it on speaker, and then we're gonna use the sound this way, okay? Just let me get the volume up and get myself set on speaker, we'll be all set.
And then in 1917,
Okay,
actually 1919.
give me a minute here, I'm trying to get this damn thing.
Then they lost control because they were.
Just give me a minute, please.
The Germans, they were part of the soldiers on the side. They had chosen.
Okay, I'm gonna have you call me one more time, okay? I'm gonna have you call me again. I'm gonna hang up and call me again, okay?
Lost control.
Okay,
And the League of Nations.
God damn it, come on.
British Empire. To UK, to Britain and France.
It was a thing.
Now my phone's,
Yeah, they put a whole.
do I have enough power? Siri, battery.
And of course, the last four down here before that, is all these,
God damn it.
story, most.
Now my iPhone froze. Okay,
But anyway, so.
okay, I can hear you now, but now I gotta get you on speaker on my end. Okay, hey, Justin, who knows iPhones? I mean, I gotta get him on speaker here so we can hear him.
Prize of the Middle East.
All right, hang on, let's try this. Okay, talk now. Go ahead and start speaking.
You need to know how to get the speaker.
Yeah,
Saudi Arabia, what's their
Gotta
main
get-
product?
Okay.
Yes.
all right, go ahead, start talking again.
2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4.
We got you now. We got you now.
Well, I tried to call it early to solve squared away, but nobody kind of wanted to answer the phone. But in any event, is this gonna work?
Yes, it's gonna work just fine. All right, then I'm sorry about all the trouble. This will be edited out of the recording that I'm making now, so don't worry. All right, it's gonna,
It's pretty neat. Just, you know, I was communicating. So I'm wondering if it's because my Zoom account is.
no, you wouldn't be on there otherwise. You're on you logged into my Zoom and I got them on a paid plan, but we can hear you now good, so I'm gonna get you at full screen here and then we'll get you started.
Sound quality is not great from here. I'm sorry.
And something pretty good. And you're on. Go ahead.
Presidency and Secretary Party for 2028. Yesterday, my book was released for sale. This book
Yes, go ahead and let us know on that stuff, okay? And we'll just continue. Go ahead.
Okay, should I continue?
Yeah. Yes, continue.
A huge amount of power to the states regarding social issues on level. It's socialism that's great corruption. We've got to get to the state so that officials can monitor it. So we can talk about how specifically that has to do with redefining what Social Security is. As a backdrop, we should first understand that FDR knows that the Democrat Party is some progressive fashion. Number two, we have 300 million missing Americans based upon the instructions of the U.S. Democrat. So we're supposed to pay into the system, pay for older people, they're AWOL, they're gone. So the corruption of the U.S. demographics has most to do with urbanization, but it also has to do a lot with peddling decadence and abortion and these kinds of things. To address the system just cannot be ongoing. And so I'd like to get the figure before the frequency that is for the country. Some of you recall earlier this month, the largest downgraded U.S. debt. It was steam. Now it is imploding. So what happens is during this cycle, You get into a positive feedback. Bonds are degraded, interest rates go up, more money's required, borrowing more. The debt is downgraded again. It's a vicious cycle and it flows. And what it has to do is the fiat collapse threshold, which historically is 1.25. You get debt over GDP greater than 1.25, and you're gone. Now, right now, China and Russia have passed the threshold and they're imploding. There's no hope for them. Anybody thinks that Russia and China is going to resurrect themselves and keep themselves? Threshold. We're talking one generation. One woman born in 1930 was sent out into the fields as a young child to collect dandelions so the family would have something to eat. Roaring 20s, money was everywhere. So within a few years to the pits of depression, and it happened fast with positive feedback, which we spent. So we've got the platform and we've got the strategy. Now, Social Security will be transferred to the states. Social Security, a social service individual states. That's where the states decide for themselves if they want to supplement their income or even children or helpless help. So that deduction. It's not a tax, it's a deduction. Workers' compensation insurance. Unemployment insurance directly for the benefit of the individual worker. So it's not a tax, it's a payroll deduction to help workers in case they get injured, laid off, or they retire. So one payroll tax. It's not a tax, it's a deduction. And we're going to have only one federal tax, and that is a business flat tax. We're going to get rid of property, state taxes, sin taxes, gasoline taxes. Get rid of them all. We're going to be surviving this one tax. It's only the businesses. People. Companies and corporations have never paid tax. They always transfer the tax burdens to their consumers. And so it is really the consumers who ultimately pay the corporate tax. So we don't need 20 different taxes. We only need one to carry on the federal government. And so the federal welfare complex in terms of Section 8 housing, Social Security, Medicaid, will be transferred to the state. Now, how does the tax work? Very simple. I want to keep it simple. And therein lies the efficiency of the whole thing. We're only going to have taxes going to be collected. So we're not going to close the IRS. But that what will happen is that a certain percentage that all companies, entities that are engaged in business pay goes to the federal government. And then decides a sharing. How much to the states? How much to the Senate? Now that portion that goes to the states, it gets divided among the 50 states on some criteria, population, GDP, electoral college, some criteria. And so what we have is a very simplified tax scheme. It isn't directed at individuals. And it's exceedingly simple. Now, even though it's what has to happen here is that you're now female like myself, I'm president. Who has it necessary to get this done in very to turn some you need at least 3 skills minimally. The interrogatorial scrutiny of the attorney, which I am. Process modeling of a systems analyst, which I am. Design of an engineer, which I am. Skills. These 3 skill sets are jump from topic to topic to topic. You first understand the system, how it works, discuss its problems with experts, describe the solution with experts. On a silver plus, I generally remain the recluse, stays behind the scenes and feeds Congress the legislation that they need to feel and they need to pass it. Block diagram flow chart scenarios we're working with folks. Then to translate this into legislation to protect the great transformation of the U.S. government in U.S. history, and the transferring powers back to the people and back to the sovereign states. The second, third, and fourth year of my presidency will be more concerned with eliminating unnecessary federal functions, but the first year is going to be this new economic system on the border. I have to talk to you, say it 200 people in a system, straight up. Why do you need tax environments? So the national debt, 200 out of 200 said yes. The American people are begging for this, but they're Democrats and Republicans. Simply here's my biography, the 4 key points. The reason why it's exigent in terms of the class system, the platform, and the campaign strategy. In a nutshell, the Democrats and Republicans are using the Libertarian Party presidency in 2028. And they can't help themselves. It's too far. Democrats pushing Congress to affect change and cheating and votes and things like that. They're history. They got this chance in 20 years. By the time 28 rolls around, the country's going to be sick of the cops authoritarianism. So some of the things he's doing, I don't really disagree with. So like right. He is doing this, like rush hour over there. I think he's taking that place far. Democrats and Republicans do not have to solve the most pressing problems facing the country. The Democrats and Republicans have become incompetent to solve and has damaged this country for the last 120 years. We libertarians must rise up and seize the moment and take the presidency in the greatest reformation in U.S. history. Now, I know how to sell my platform to traditional Democrats. Democrats in me, not progressive fascists. That's the new. I have a whole bunch of Republican conservatism in me, but I'm mostly dominated by liberty and freedom. That's a libertarian party. I know how to sell the platform to the rank and file Democrats, to the rank and file Republicans. So the stars have aligned. It's time for the Libertarian Party to rise up, take control, and fix the damage the Democrats and Republicans have done for the last 120 years. We're the only ones that can do it. We're the last hope for the USA. Having that debt threshold of a GDP ratio of 1.2. Free fall.
Tell them to log in.
Straight.
Tell them to log in.
We're gonna save ourselves from 600 fiat currencies. We got no choice.
Okay, are you still there, sir? Yes, we can. Now, are you done with your presentation now?
Too much.
No, it wasn't too much. I was having some technical issues here. We just had another phone call come in on my phone that we were at with you. So all right, I guess we'll then go into questions and answers. All right, who's got the questions? Okay, go ahead. I mean, hang on.
Your agenda is pretty, it's got a lot of things in it. It's a lot of hard work to do. Are there any issues or any things that happen in your career where you can say it's a really complex issue, it's a resolution of it? There's something in your professional life that shows that you get things done as great.
Okay. Prosecutor for over 15 years, scientists would explain their system. I would interrogate them. I would figure out their system what's its novelty over the prior art. Then I would devise plans to it. I'm doing this now. Whether it's an electronic system, systems, legislative systems, their own systems, and they all create understood the same way. It is that skill set that's going to be able to address many problems that do it quickly and solve problems routinely. I know that can turn this off, to be clear. I have been thinking about this for over 3 decades. This is a culmination. I anticipate surfacing when we start doing it. And so there was I had a panel of currency specialists, a panel of banking specialists, a panel of legislating specialists. And when I got a question, and I start chewing on her, asking them questions, getting like the system. Once I process through this, I didn't first put them from and then device precision working with solve serious problems that will surface during this large transition. I am hired job, I'm competent for the job, and I proved my success. I was the #1 patent prosecutor in the country for over 15 years with a 98% success rate. They could bring me anything from a radar system to an atomic clock, you name it. I'd sit it down, I'd figure it out, and we would strap design. We actually went through a design section right there in law. Skill set solve problems. Tremendous transfer rights to the state. There's going to be the service now. Well, sharing of revenue. Only collect property taxes. That's it. Now, I would like to address my fellow libertarians with respect to property tax because they think you have a person pick up your trash, police your streets, start fires, take people to hospitals. You are getting services. Now, I understand it's yours and you shouldn't have to pay for it again. I get that. But you are taking advantage of certain civil services and you should pay for them if you're able to swap them with a competitive commercial service. You know, have them right now, homeowners who have property get services from the local community justifies property tax. So the city property tax, a federal flat tax, business tax, translating the federal welfare complex to the states. I don't be prepared for that. Good question.
Okay, who else has questions? Yellow, don't get you on a day out there. Get you then, next, George. Okay.
Question, are you connected in any way with Jacob Martin during party on the East Coast?
I am virtually unknown, totally unconnected, and squeaky clean. They can't throw any money at me. I'm not quite sure if I heard the answer or the question correctly, but I am a registered voting libertarian. I ran for the U.S. presidency in 2016 and the U.S. Senate from California in 2018. I took and I did get to know some of the libertarians, but I pretty much have been a mental most of my life, you know. I mean, I had my mind mostly, and I think things through. So I connected with any other organizations other than the Libertarian Party.
Okay.
The next, I think of this New York City, mayoral nominee. Like is he a socialist or a Marxist? You know about him?
And I understand the Democrats, he's so Muslim or something like that, that got a lot of people thinking that and they support Mr. Sharps. He's New York. You know, when I was campaigning, and also as an engineer, I was here for 10 years. I was a litigator for 10 years, a prosecutor for 15 years. But I did not hear accurately what you were asking about.
I'm asking your opinion of this guy running for first in the biggest city. The biggest city in the world, in the United States. He's gonna. It looks like he's gonna win. I'm beaming. And he's anti-Jewish too, the way I understand it.
I'm an competitor. My is on the impacts problems of federal government. The states, the sovereign entities. I'm not too particularly interested in is messing with state politics. Fix the apex problems. There's an Russian copper. And it says a fish runs from the head down. US government, just filter out and go away. I am not particularly following New York domestic politics. I heard that the Democrats elected Muslim socialists or something like that. And, I don't know if the federal government needs to go into the state and try to arrange the things for them. I just took the hands off. Sorry. Federal jurisdictions, federal jurisdictions, they have completely these days.
Okay, go ahead and get your next,
Okay, on your web, any announcements for the talk on the college complex? You mentioned the American Freedom Party. Why did it mention the American Freedom Party? That was started in Southern California, I think, and maybe Orange County, maybe Westminster. Do you know anything about that?
Frustrated with the Republican lawmakers that he has just intrigued an American Freedom Party. And I may have been with him, but you never know who you're talking with over the phone. Create a party. He isn't going to work anyway. What libertarians can rally behind the libertarian banner. All problems that he's concerned about. Discovers me, my platform, the Libertarian Party between now and so, I don't know. But I reached out a hand to him and I said, look, I can accomplish everything you decide.
okay, Charlie, go ahead.
Yes, Derek, let me get my picture up there. I'm somewhat concerned about the infrastructure of the United States. The federal government undertakes multitude of infrastructure projects for purposes of interstate commerce, fostering interstate commerce, and for stimulating local economies. But without any tax money, this infrastructure, is everything I read, is in a total state of disrepair. And if we don't have any taxes or do something about it, there's not going to be any transportation in the United States. Or else, are you thinking of selling everything to the private sector? What's going to happen with the infrastructure?
And to jack up the U.S. GDP 10 to 20 trillion dollars within 4 years. That is a phenomenal amount of money. As far as what Congress decides to do, they control the streams. And if they want to repair infrastructure, they're available to them. If they want to create new structure, be available. We're going to become flush with cash. Flush. We don't need any interest. That's why Lincoln and Kennedy were killed. It's because they wanted to introduce, as I am going to introduce, the Lincoln Greenback. Interest on a Lincoln Greenback. So it's $1.5 trillion right like 15 to 70 years flowing into more than enough. More than enough. That's how good it's gonna get. As soon as you get rid of all of these taxes, just for those two. So the Congress just starts cranking. More 20s again. Across Church Street is the expense line. And so what we have is we have a single tax rate. It's a flat tax rate. If you're in business, you're taking that amount. It's a revenue base, not income. It's product because it's a tax rate. You know, somebody improves the productivity, that improves right down to the profit. So we should have a jack of commercial activity. We're going to check up on productivity. Yes. You know when they used to say, hey, far as oh no. The single parameter tax rate says tax rate goes up a little bit more than Congress wants to spend it a little bit. The tax rate goes down by operation of law. There's no reason, there's no vote about it. How much do you want to spend? Your tax rate to meet it. We're going to approve the tax rate that meets expenditures, and it's going to be very easy for the people to come back and say, okay. Because people expenditures, that means that they also vote by operational law for additional tax increasing tax. So the tax rate is adjusted by operational law spending. Congress sees this. As it should. Your question?
Okay, who's next? All right, go ahead and yell.
Okay, when you were talking property tax, and highly up. And when they were getting rid of the food tax should be implemented anyway. These are all should be expenditures.
Is that your question?
So may I proceed?
Yes.
Taxes are primarily there to be like issues within the state. As a general code of money, states what the sex property tax rate is. They want them to get progressive to nail it. That's their philosophy. The property tax is paid for the county, state, and operations, not the state operation. IRS claims chief revenue flags have their income stream. Has their income stream. It's legal. Services. Stacks just pay for the federal and state government operation. Very simple. And sharing mechanisms are very simple. So I actually like the fact that we're gonna adjust the tax rate by operational. They're saying, let's decrease our expenditure, and we're gonna give everybody a tax break by operational laws. I think that's pretty fair. And so the property taxes for a specific purpose. Our taxes shared to the state government. Very simple parameter for the sharing, which is tax rate. So it's on its own to its you need. Find that less is more. There is so much logistical garbage in government that there's a tremendous amount of waste. So if we can simplify government, in savings. Free. So revenue, government. Revenue stream, but it's gonna be minimal. You walk into a store, you don't have to compute sales tax. There's no such thing. You walk in, see the price, you pay the price, you walk out. When you get your check in your pocket, you're gonna keep my money out of your pocket. Workers, employment insurance, and workers' pensions. Anyways, I think it's simple, and I think that's the safe difference.
Okay, is that Jake at 6157? You need to unmute and ask a question. Jake? You need to unmute there, sir. On the phone, they're ending in 6157. You're recognized, but you need to unmute your phone.
The question over here.
All right, Jake, let's get another question from the floor then. Go ahead. Go ahead, George.
Oh,
All right, then we'll get you next.
This is to pay any taxes. They haven't ever paid any taxes. They're just in the corporate.
How you get them? You simply put a gun to their head. You stiff your creditors, your shareholders, you confiscate your liquid assets, and you sell your hard assets at auction if you don't pay up. It's really hard nosed, but they're not going to vote. The American people are going to be so flush with cash. They're going to be so flush with cash. That thinks it's going to $10 to $20 trillion. And so our customers are there, the customers are outside. And you want to the company paying taxes. One of the penalties for not paying taxes is that federal government just confiscates your business. I mean, it should be that bad. It should really apply. The IRS. This is how separation snake. IRS code or something like that. My girlfriend's sister, because I'm going there on a conference, and then they have all these write-offs, and we get everywhere. I think they were popular, and they came in, which is nonsense. Trying to protections are because we don't care. We don't care about how profitable your business is. The tax rate can be based upon this. The tax rate is going to be based upon sales and businesses can operate very well when they know they are got a 6% tax rate. adjust my productivity and my marketing plans to where I can make a lot of money at the tax rate. Yes. Well, no, that's always possible. So if the signage reflects the taxes that are so simplistic, so out of something that's going to be a policy. The final analysis, extra passing taxes. So, okay. It's gonna be like, so keep our.
Jake, you got your hand up. Will you please ask your question? The one phone number ending in 6.
Hi, okay. First, just point of order. I'm having a hard time hearing. There's interference in the sound system. It sounds like an echo or something. My question is, how many libertarians does it take to screw in a light bulb?
There are other engineer libertarians. I'd say.
Okay, George, go ahead.
What do you think of the way Biden ended the Afghan war? He left $80 billion of supplies in Afghanistan, and he betrayed our, my opinion, your presidential candidate.
You can't senile and phrase confidence. You can't just. He pulled the troops out in a very spontaneous manner. Left a lot of stuff. He didn't handle that too well. And that's just the way any retribution against Biden. Which is what he was in the latter part of his years. He had a long, illustrious career, and we should honor that service. You know, the Afghan thing was a big blemish on his record. It was an unfortunate circumstance. We gave up a lot of hardware. And what I understand, people were killed during the exit. So it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty.
Okay, who else has a question?
3995.
Okay, 3995, please unmute and ask your question. You need to unmute your phone. Three nine nine five. Go ahead. You're on. You're recognized. Okay, he hasn't unmuted yet.
I've got a question. What's your favorite
Favorite movie?
I don't watch it.
Okay. All right, Charlie, go ahead.
Yeah, who in their right mind is going to vote for a flat tax? That the rich and the poor pay the same tax? That's not right. Anybody knows that's a gift tax for the rich. That's the problem. That's like the problem. Like when you get on a bus, they have one transit fare, and they don't care how rich or poor you are, but everybody pays the same fare. Who in their right? They passed a flat tax in Illinois, and when they did the new constitution, and they've been trying to get rid of it ever since. Do you think rich and poor people should pay the same thing, the tax rate?
Have dual tax rate. So you have flat tax on businesses, that's one. And the second one is that the states are authorized to charge a property tax. Now, the states can suck to the rich by having a very progressive property tax rate if they choose to do so. That's a state concern, not a federal concern. As far as are going to be treated the same. I don't have a problem with somebody making $100 billion. If they do it, really, I don't have a problem with big bucks, people, as long as it doesn't contaminate government. If they use the money to influence government in an unfair way or a dominant way, then it can get a little dicey. But that's up to the states now. The federal government can also require that the payroll deduction percentage, and you pay it throughout your productive life, as long as you're getting income. That means a billionaire making a few $100 million a year, throwing it to his pensions. That's like a gift back to the country to help out other people who may not have faced as much here to their workers' pensions. So the only area that I could see where the government might in some class words here. You simply say where it is wages or compensation, unemployment, and pension. Turn out billionaires will throw a lot of money into it, and they society. Congress may decide to do that. That's Congress's business. Congress sets the business not rescue thing. Okay. So they have states want to set rates for the progressive real estate tax, property tax, excuse me, they can. To sock billionaires with a that they were. It's more of a donation. Congress can do that. It's their responsibility. So I don't see. Right. I suspect by the end of my second year. No. Progressive fascists of the Democratic Party. They are a party of violence. Democratic Party has unfortunately turned into a domestic terror organization. I'm going to help you get back to being traditional liberal Democrat, my friend. That's what I'm going to do. We got excellent. And if you want to get into some philosophy about this, I was able to zero it down.
Jim, can I?
You.
You start talking about this thing, and what you do is you drive good principles to the point of absolute extremes, requiring justifications of things. That's correct. Libertarian circumspection. You say, do anything we want as long as we do no harm. They never do it. Just completely unreal. Just like the they're sitting there now. They're plowing just as much as the Democrats. True. And so we have Three. Just violent, becoming authoritarian government, and the libertarians not honoring freedom, responsibility. Trade on the liberty aspect. So libertarians aren't playing here, but that's okay.
Activist, three-time national delegate. How can you run if you understand political polarization so poorly? With claims like Dems win the cities and blue states only because they cheat, as you said in Delegates Uncensored. And two, with zero campaign money and visibility.
The first one. I'm my ear to see if it's a little more clear. Please ask your question again.
How can you run if you understand political polarization so poorly with claims like Dems win the cities and
Yeah, because something about, uncensored, or that the Democrats do. I obviously believe that in 2020, there should be a,
Actually believe this.
50 years of paper.
Ask your question again. Sorry about that.
all right, with zero campaign money and visibility, what is this engineering design overconfidence meant to inspire in libertarians and other voters in general?
Okay.
Do not hear the question. I'm getting the crosstalk. You gotta speak. What I'm doing as president is bring the individual citizen a whole bunch more of liberty and freedoms in their lives. And I think that when the Libertarian Party rank and file understands it as such, that they're going to rally and we're going to take the White House.
All right, George, go ahead.
What do you think of Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, DOE? What do you think of it?
Efficiency is the problem is interest on it, the positive feedback that will throw this country into the depressions for you here in 28. Now, I enjoy Musk's efforts in terms of identifying some wasted government. I applaud that effort, but he was chasing Fox the whole time. He was chasing because efficiency is not the problem. Debt is the problem.
Okay, go ahead.
Do all these murders and justice within 2 years, as you said. How are you gonna do that? How do you do that?
Checker, White House or Superman?
Sure. They're
My resume, by the way, I just saw one. And I'm telling you, it's a really fun exercise if you want to get into the mind of Derrick Reed. It's entitled Everything Seen and Unseen, God in the Quantum Domain. I explained the entire universe in 68 pages, which is a 3-hour read. So if you want for the intellect involved, take a read. I'm gonna sell some of those books and get some money to fly around next couple of years and meet a bunch of libertarians and try to get known and sell the story. But it's a wonderful story, and I think it's a story that the libertarians really want to hear.
All right, any more questions from our audience?
I do.
Okay, Justin, go ahead.
Said that the Democrats are a domestic terror organization, and perhaps some members of the Democrats are terrorists. But January 6th, the president provoked people into attacking the Capitol and then pardoned those people. What are your thoughts on January 6th? Did Trump incite an attack?
Try to understand, I'm a skilled lawyer and never lost in the federal courts. On what happens out there because everything is hearsay. I don't know. I wasn't there. I want to know.
There's lots of video. There's lots of recordings of incidents that happened on January 6th. You got
Nancy Pelosi did to instigate it. Wasn't held indefinitely by a mob of disappointed Trump voters, and you know, drawn any conclusions because be so bold as to prejudge the situation. I did not see Trump say to the followers, take the Capitol building. I never heard that. But I heard a lot of stories about how Nancy Pelosi have the mobbing emotions.
guys can't hear. Can't hear.
Affairs for a half century. That's a long time. And I have watched many campaigns on the TV tips. CNN sounds in favor of Biden. Trump got 1,000 votes, then all of a sudden he got 500 votes. I saw Trump tens of thousands of voters at rallies, and Biden had trouble getting 10. And you put that together, and then you look at the statistics in terms of the immigrant questions involved.
Yeah. Well,
and to make it as neat as possible. Unless we're talking about Pelosi and an active role in setting up the J6 protesters. We want to hear about it. As far as the mob concerned,
I am unaware of Nancy Pelosi trying to instigate anything, but there is, Trump for months accusing the elections of being stolen without offering any evidence. You've offered no evidence to Trump's.
offered my opinion.
All right. Anyways, he also told people to march down there and to fight like hell after months and months and months of telling them that it was rigged without evidence, without proof. There's no proof that was stolen. And these people attacked the Capitol. How can you just shrug that off and then say, "Oh, I wonder what Nancy Pelosi knows"?
Send the National Guard up.
Like you're supposed that one way or another. Observational experience I would or as a political expert and would be able to render an opinion based upon everything they say. Like election. But based upon what I saw, my conclusion is that The parties worked wonders. Okay.
Who did you vote for in 2024?
17, 20, and 24. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right, George, you're next. Howard, did you have any?
No, I agree with the speaker though, about this stuff. It's on January 6th.
Who controls the National Guard in DC? Do you know?
Speaker of the House.
Hang on, are we out? We may have lost connection. Just give me a second.
Trump asked for the national guard.
Okay, no, we're not listening.
The president of the United States is in charge of the National Guard. Come
Okay,
on,
guys, we got a lot of
he's
cross.
commander in chief. What kind of question is that?
Hold on time, please. Okay, all right. Any more questions?
We want all the criminals up there.
I would have been there.
How are they?
All right, what we're gonna do now? Okay, now we're gonna go into a rebuttal period. And from, all right. Oh, you got another question? Okay. This is now a rebuttal period. All right, we're into a rebuttal period now. And let's get up, if who's got a rebuttal, get up front and we'll see what's going on. All right, hang on a minute. We're now, I'll give you guys about 5 minutes or so. Or whatever, but we got rebuttals coming up front.
Okay. Are you good enough? Can you hear me?
I think we can hear you, yes.
Can you hear me back?
Yeah, we can hear. Okay, hang on a minute, please. I gotta, you get the stupid mouth. Okay, go ahead.
I have been 3 or 4 marches with primarily Democrats. And there would be 30,000 people down in Chicago and all across the country, hundreds of thousands of people were marching and there were incidents of violence. The Democrats are not violent. That I do. The Democrats not violent. The peaceful and signs of humor, but made their point. So give us a break. This is not correctly assigning violence to the Democrat. Number 2, here is one man who says he's going to do this huge major change to our whole government and all the taxing and all that stuff and change it all over to the states. Well, come on, yes. One guy can't do it. And even Putin, so he wants to be like Putin, do it like Putin. We want that. We want that in our country. We got enough of it already right now. Going a little too far. So that's my read. Let's see if there's any. So yeah, I think that's a pretty grandiose idea to think that he can take this plan to totally overhaul the government and the taxations and do that as the president of the United States. Plus, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't go for it.
Okay, Mike, you gonna go next? Go ahead, sir.
I just turned into more of a tax spend presentation. Thanks for the presentation. 2 quick things I want to speak on are the tax system, 1, and then 2, the size of the government. It's a very complex, $25 trillion economy, $5 trillion budget for the federal government.
And, you know, as much as Trump wants to tell the voters here that all the white people are very honest and not criminal, there's a lot of corruption in this country. There's a lot of criminals, and I've run into a few. And part of the reason that there is so much oversight in government, in federal government, and governments in general, lawyers, accountants, more accountants, more accountants, you know, there's a lot of eyeballs watching things, so there isn't corruption and fraud. You need that. There's criminals everywhere, people trying to figure out how to beat the system. So that's part of the reason that the governments are so big. Now, if you notice that Mr. Trump wants to get rid of a lot of that oversight, you know, checks and balances and everything else, you know, which of course will encourage more crime. So I'm fine with having a bigger government, having lawyers and judges and accountants and economists taking a look at everything. You know, we're going to give $5 trillion away to the super rich. You know, the economists and all the accountants are saying that's probably the giveaway, the bailout of the super rich, that the Republicans just had the big ugly bill. And you know, it's a shame, going more in debt. Republicans are good at putting us in debt more. And who are you going to trust? Hundreds and thousands of accountants and economists that have been looking at this stuff for decades and watching where the money goes? Or are you going to trust 200 Republicans and then say everything's fine? We're just going to give this money to the super rich. So there's a reason for the big bureaucracy. It might not be super efficient, but the speaker says it's efficient, the federal government's efficient. You know, take him at his word there. So anyway, that's the big bureaucracy in the system that they want to replace.
Tip.
Okay, so the other thing is taxes. Yeah.
Go ahead, Mike, just talk.
Like. All right, so the other thing is taxes. You know, people that burn gasoline are kind of pissed that all these EV drivers use the same roads, speed up the same roads, cause crashes, mayhem, what have you. They don't pay any gas taxes. So you always have to have taxes on kind of every little angle of the economy, just to make sure that people are paying their fair share in all these different economic you know, entities and the economic services and stuff like that. So you know, you know, it's not going to be a perfect science, but you do need to tax, you know, most things. You know, I'm taxed on most things, you know, that I'm involved in. So I don't have a problem with, you know, reasonable taxes. I mean, somebody's got to pay for the roads, the lights on the streets, the ambulances, the fire department, police, the education. You know, the War Department is almost half of our economy. So you know, you got to tax here and there for things, just because that's the way we're set up. So, all right, thanks.
All right. Go ahead, George, you're next.
Well, President Trump into office with the help of Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, called DOGE. They had an ambitious plan to cut $2 trillion in spending and slash to the bone useless bloated government bureaucracies. The exposure of the real harm being done to the country by agencies like USAID, U.S. Agency of International Development, and others reinforced the idea that much of the federal bureaucracy was simply not needed. There's no way for DOGE to succeed without the legislative branch putting those into legislation. But when the massive big beautiful spending bill was introduced, the spending cuts were nowhere to be found. The popularity of those shows that Americans still want a much smaller government. That is great news, and the country owes a debt of gratitude to Musk for reminding us of this. But until Americans elect representatives who have the courage to follow through beyond photo ops, we will sadly continue down the path toward bankruptcy and collapse. Trump and Musk have acrimoniously parted ways, so he's gone. But Doge is still there, he says. I want to say something else. I heard something on Fox News today. They were talking about Obama's Russian hoax pertaining to the elections, and it's a giant hoax. And the way Fox is talking about it, it's the biggest treason that the United States, because Trump was in office and Obama said all these lies just to, like the Democrats do. They're always trying to tear down the GOP. Okay.
All right, give me a second, Charlie. We're gonna let you go next.
The GOP balance the budget, give no gas.
Okay, Charlie, you're next.
All right, I don't have much to say this evening, other than thank you, Derrick, for a nice presentation covering a variety of issues. I'm sorry I didn't quite hear all of them. And good luck with your campaign. The only thing I noticed, though, is reading over the platform, it seems to be rooted almost essentially on a flat tax. Now, the problem with a flat tax, as I said, is that the rich person, let's say they buy gasoline, pays the same tax as the poor person. The gas pump doesn't care, or the government. Unfortunately, it's a higher percentage of the income of the poor person. So the poor person is giving out more of their income. They both get the same thing, gasoline, so many gallons, the rich and the poor, but it's a higher percentage of the poor person's income. And he needs to get to and from work. So that's a disproportionate burden on him. It does not level, amazingly enough, you want to eliminate the burden of taxation on the middle and lower people and place the burden on those who can afford to pay it. Any way you look at it, that's a rather simple thing that you would want to do. You will never achieve that, however, I don't perceive, with a flat tax. So with a flat tax, it doesn't care. The government is saying, I don't care even if it's your amount of your disposable income, even if it's a greater burden on you, and you're going to have to reduce your standard of living if you're middle or poor. But this is the way we're going to do things from now on. I really don't perceive that's a solution to the thing. Now, the other thing is transferring government activities from the federal government to the state. In this day and age, doesn't quite make any sense. We have tremendous means of communication and transportation advances. Now, having done things locally might have made sense in the 19th century, but there's no longer any compelling necessity to perform any government services by the states or at the local level. You have to give a compelling need or reason that it will be done better or more efficiently, not just dumping things on the state. As a matter of fact, will increase the cost because it's called economy of function. If you can have the function performed by the federal government with equitability and oversight to all 50 states, that's significantly better than dispersing it to 50 states and hoping something gets done. That's no policy or program at all that we should be advocating. So anything you see, take it from the Fed to the state, will only reach an inefficiency and increase costs. Anyhow, good luck with the campaign, Derek, and come back and report sometime when we got some better technology. Thank you.
Okay, Joe Kopsick, if you're ready to go ahead.
Yeah, how's my sound?
Because I've made some adjustments, that's why. Hang on, let me get all right, Joe, you're next.
Okay, is my sound all right?
Yes.
All right, so I didn't hear a lot of what Derek said because I had sound issues, but I was able to get some of it and more from what the commenters said. Um, First off, so the Constitution doesn't explicitly authorize the federal government to build or construct or maintain roads. It doesn't use those words. What it says is the federal government has the right to establish post roads. What I interpret from that is that it has the right to designate already existing roads for the purposes of giving houses on them addresses and delivering the mail. So I think the government should do just money, mail, and military. That's not to say they have been successful at doing those things. That's why I can't trust them to do other things because they can't fulfill their most three basic responsibilities: money, mail, and military. I'm not in the Libertarian Party anymore, but I do value decentralization. I do think we should use constitutional processes. So I'm still, considering Libertarians and Greens. The military took the fact that it's allowed to exist to justify taking over a bunch of lands that it doesn't really have the right to have. Look at the DC Act of 1871. So to justify keeping this land, it planted things on it, and now it's using it. And so we have to have federal regulations for environment and food and health and medicine now because they're growing plants and food on that land. And the general welfare clause has been used to justify the existence of a federal education program. And education and health has only been around, 50, 70 years tops. We got by without it for a long time. We got by without an income tax for a long time. I don't support tariffs. I didn't hear everything Derek said, so I don't know if he supports that, but we don't need the federal government to make our roads for us. And I think any interstate highway can just be built by the two states that it goes. We have a need. The need is we don't have the need for state management of highways is you can say we don't have enough oversight, and the western states are not being serviced enough by the federal transportation system, and there's been a decline in the number of train tracks. That could be used as an argument for building more, but I was talking about roads too. I don't want to get too far off topic. So Charlie's right that the poor person would pay a higher percentage of the income for paying for things, but I think Derek said he was talking about. I didn't hear everything he said, but I think he mentioned people who got rich through illicit means. Like libertarians are against fraud. That means we're against business fraud. So I think flat tax is okay. I think progressive tax is okay. I think a better model is the negative income tax, which is a flat tax that's effectively progressive because people under a certain income level wouldn't have to pay taxes, so they would get money from it. I don't know if Derek supports that. I don't know if you've heard of a negative income tax. I'd be interested to know if you support that. But better than just taxing whatever because it exists, taxing income, I think a better idea is fining crime. Don't tax business fraudsters, fine them, put them in jail, put them in prison, use that money to fund the government. That's most of the theft doesn't come from burglary and stealing and retail theft. It comes from wage theft perpetrated by businesses. If we go after business fraud, because libertarians are against fraud, then we'll have a way to make sure that those corporations are paying those taxes. We'll make sure they're paying criminal fines and use that to fund the government. I'd like to know what Derek thinks about that. By the way, all Democrats and Republicans are state terrorists because they believe in the initiation of violence. Thanks.
Okay, are there anybody else who's okay? Let me get you. Let me get the right. Okay, hang on a second. All right, go ahead and get up front, and we'll be all set. Go ahead, Justin. You got 5 minutes or so, and then
I want to thank Mr. Reed for his coming here And I'm sorry about the technical difficulties. So I recall first meeting Mr. Reed when he came to Springfield when he ran in 2016. Um, I regret to hear that he didn't vote for Gary Johnson, Joe Jorgensen, or Chase Olivers. And as a multinational delegate and activist a long time, I'm curious what the speaker would have to say if people are reluctant to support somebody who didn't support the LP presidential nominee in previous elections, who CEOs trying to seek that nomination.
So we'll give you a chance to, after the rebuttals, you're gonna get a chance to rebut everybody. You'll be the last person to speak.
Oh, I also think that I think January 6th is a bigger deal than I think a lot of people are making. It's a pretty big deal because you had people without any evidence, still can't get any evidence, no proof of election fraud. They were told that there was fraud. The president signaled to them that it was okay to use violence to stop a transfer of power. And they were pardoned. This is completely scary. The fact that he got elected after January 6th is just, it's also scary. Perhaps this is divine judgment for the wickedness of the United States, perhaps. So I'm curious, why would libertarians want to support a candidate for president who can't condemn a violent attack on the Capitol? Also curious to know where the speaker stands on deportation. It's a big issue here in Chicago because a lot of people are immigrants. A lot of people are afraid to go out because they're afraid that the police or other people are working with ICE. Should libertarians be more vocal against the deportations than they are now? I'm curious what the candidate has to say. One more thing. I understand movies aren't everybody's cup of tea. You don't have to sit around. But just one movie that you like, perhaps, maybe the speaker could tell me. But I want to thank him for coming in and giving his presentation. I'd like to hear what he has to say in his final rebuttal. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else speaking tonight with a rebuttal? All right, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna give me a second to get you reset up so we can hear the rest of the you're speaking, and then we're gonna let you rebut, and then we'll maybe cut off a little early from our speaker tonight. I will have a lot of this edited up, and in a couple of days you'll see a link on it because I'm gonna have to do a lot of cleanup. So we'll see what happens. So give me a minute, and we'll be ready to go. Okay, you can hear me, and I'm gonna get you you can hear me now. We're gonna get you back on the thing, and give me a second, please. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. You make your final remarks.
There was a question regarding my prior voting record. Yes, I did vote for Trump in the last caps he made. Two, it basically came down to looking at the libertarian candidates. And I found them wanting. They can most certainly spew the libertarian platitude. But when it came down to fixing hardcore problems, an engineer, for example, I found them lacking. But most significant this last time out, Trump came to, I think it was May 25th, 2024. He came to the Libertarian Party and he gave an address, and he says that if libertarians support him, then he would put a libertarian on the cabinet. Then I believe the LNC chair at the time used her influence to persuade a lot of libertarians to vote for Trump. So I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I am the best possible candidate for the Department of Defense, Secretary, Department of Defense. You look at my resume, you say, this guy's competent. And so I prepared to give a Trump rally speech. I could have brought him 3 million votes if he put me on. Couldn't get close to him. I applied for the Secretary of DOD. I got no response, so I was passed over. But I've got the party head saying, you know, support Trump. Trump promised to put this libertarian on the cabinet. I'm for it. And so that's what I try to do. Basically came down to, Johnson. You know, I mean, he's a nice guy. He's got good military values. He said, if you look at the platform, you see specific things that want to be accomplished to avoid catastrophe. Deportation. I do write on Facebook, Libertarian U.S. President 2020, various aspects of analyzing things, and I took the task on deportation of immigrants. We need babies. We need workers. We need individuals, forming families, producing the next generation of workers. That's what we need. Now, if Trump's going to go in and just throw every illegal out, he's throwing the baby out with the bathwater. I don't have to be throwing out criminals or people that take advantage of our welfare system, but just to willy-nilly throw people out. I think he's gone way too far on that. It's 100%. Explanation of what I believe Trump is doing for the immigration deportation. What he's doing is very wrong. Because I look at what does the country need, and I go from there. Now I would like to talk about yes. I've analyzed this relation for 3 decades. And I do have a very rare side. It's just going to be a fantastic approach. You believe this is actually possible. We are Americans. Some of you may have been around for 1960. I was. Catastrophe.
Well, we'd like to say thank you tonight. Despite all the troubles, I think we did get a good workaround. I know there's been a lot of echo, but hopefully you'll be able to get your Zoom fixed. And I'd like to thank you for coming tonight. And with that, our College of Complexes is adjourned. And with that, I'll call off our phone call and stop the recording and wish you well, sir, and thank you for coming. And I do apologize again for all the echo and the technical troubles, but I had to do a workaround and we had to get you by phone. So thank you very much for everything. And all right, take care, sir. Bye.